Hey guys, Chris here. In this video, I'm going to give you guys my opinion, my review on the Mercedes-Benz EQB. Is it a good car? Is it a bad car? What do I like and what don't I like? And maybe more importantly, how does it stack up against its sibling, the EQA? So all of those questions are going to be answered in today's video. So if you're new here, my name is Chris. I have this channel dedicated to testing EVs. I do range tests, charging tests. I do reviews like this video and also buy EVs to give you guys, the ownership experience. So if you like EV content, please be sure to browse the channel after watching this video. And if you like those videos, well, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thank you very much. And also, well, if you just like the EQB, if you like EVs in general, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Thank you very much. Before I give you guys my opinion on this Mercedes-Benz EQB, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Zaptec, with their Zaptec Go home charger. The Zaptec Go is a small, cool, and stylish home charger that can charge up to 11 kilowatts on AC charging. The charge box can be had in a bunch of different colors, which is pretty cool. So go to the links down below, find your country, and then go to the retailer. You can choose a whole bunch of different colors. It is pretty cool. And if you live in Norway, you can actually use the discount code ZAPRIFA to get 10% off your purchasing price, which is pretty cool. So again, a huge thanks to Zaptec for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so with that out of the way, let me give you guys some numbers, some stats, some facts about this EQB. So this EQB in particular is the 350 4MATIC. This is the most powerful version of the EQB, well, on sale now. Will there be an AMG version later? That would be really cool, but I don't know. So this EQB 350 4MATIC has dual electric motors, 292 horsepower, does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6 seconds flat, and has a 66.5 kilowatt hour battery capacity. That is net battery capacity. And the WLTP raised this car at a little bit more than 400 kilometers of range, though on the motorway, on my motorway test, I got like closer to 250, a little bit more than 250, but well, I will link that video in the description box down below. But that's to be expected with a car with a little bit more than 400 kilometers getting that range on the motorway. So this car starts at a little bit more in price than the EQA. This is basically the same car as an EQA. It's just a little bit longer. But before we dive into that, it's about 10,000 kroner, so 1,000 euros more expensive than an equivalent EQA. But what you do get is 10 centimeters more in the wheelbase. You also get 20 centimeters longer overall. So this is a much bigger car. I think the roofline feels higher, at least it's much more boxy in the design. You get a bigger trunk, 465 liters. And maybe most importantly, for a lot of people, this is actually a 7-seater. So considering the price, it starts at a little bit more, less than 500,000 kroners, a little less than 50,000 euros. That is not bad. This car, basically spec'd to the brim, though a little less equipment than the EQA I had last time, comes in at 609,000 kroner, so about 61,000 euros. So it's not cheap, but it's about 50,000 kroners or 5,000 euros cheaper than the EQA I had last week. I don't know what that car has that this doesn't have. Maybe this has the like Alcantara, this microfiber cloth insert in the doors and on the seats instead of real leather. Maybe that's a contributor to the price. But this has the AMG interior, AMG exterior, same wheels. This has heated seats. It does not have cool seats. It has the Burmester sound system. It has panoramic sunroof. It basically has everything you need. So for this price and getting a 7-seater with this much room, that's not too bad. So I mean, this car as it sits now is much better value than that EQA, well, I had last week. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And if you are an old viewer and haven't seen a video in a while, you may not know that these reviews I do are usually of higher quality, much better production. I usually like to do different camera angles inside the car, outside the car. But because I had surgery a few months ago, I don't have the same work capacity. I'm not as mobile as I was. So for the next few months, I will be doing this more, one takes, where it's just me sitting in a car and talking to you guys about what I think about the car. I will be overlaying as much B-roll as possible, but again, I don't have as much work capacity. So I do apologize for that, guys, but maybe, hopefully in the summer, we will be back to the normal videos and normal video schedule. You guys may seen that, I don't have the Norwegian high-speed run. I don't have all the videos I usually do have. But okay, with that out of the way, I want to start with what I don't like about this car. And like the EQA I tested last week, or last time, it was 2 weeks ago actually, there's not a lot of things I don't like about this car, because I think this is actually a very good car for this price point, but there are a few things I do not like. And the first thing is just the steering calibration. It just feels very artificial and very over boosted. That alongside with the throttle and brake calibration and the way one pedal driving works on this car. So it doesn't have true one pedal driving because it doesn't come to complete stop, but you have D mode, and then if you pull on this pedal, you go into D minus. You have more recuperation, and you can pull it once more, and then you have D, oh, you only have D minus once? Okay. I swear to you guys that I've had D double minus, maybe on an EQC, but you have D and D minus. Both will give you, type of one pedal driving, but the way it's calibrated, when you step off the throttle like this, let's go into the left lane here, it's just a delay, and then it starts braking. And even if you go into the most aggressive setting, there's still this delay. So on a Polestar 2 or even a Tesla Model 3 or a Tesla Model Y, that calibration is much more linear, it's much more direct, and much more intuitive. I don't find this very intuitive, so I actually don't drive this car in D-, though I usually love one pedal driving on cars. It's just the steering, the brake, the throttle, the responses of the way this thing drives is not my favorite. It may be because I'm switching in between cars, the Polestar 2, and then my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, where the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo is probably the best setup steering, brake, throttle calibration, and then you have the Polestar 2, which has one pedal driving, maybe the best one pedal driving calibration, better than a Tesla Model 3. It's just those contrasts. I'm pretty sure if I had this car, only driving this car after a while, I would get used to it, but it's not my favorite. And also here on a twisty road, it is not sporty. This is not a sporty car. Yes, it does 292 horsepower, does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6 seconds, but it's not very fast. It's not a very fast car. It's spirited. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's just not a sporty car. Even though we have drive select modes here, you can put it into sport. Sport just gives you more regen, gives you a little bit more weight in the steering, but that's about it. So this is not a sporty car. This is a family car. So those are the two major things I don't like. Maybe I'm missing something. Go watch my EQA video, because this is basically an EQA. Maybe the screens are a little bit small. The 10.25 inch, MBUX screens are a little bit small. You don't have a dedicated shortcut button to your EQ modes, which gives you your battery percentage. You have to, press the screen and go into a menu. And then overall build quality, I'm going to get back to that, in the things I do like about this car. But there's a thing where it's really lacking, and that's the driver window switches here, which just feels so cheap and completely out of place compared to the rest of the interior. Now let's talk about what I do like about this EQB, and there are a lot of things I actually do like. So first off, this driving position, you sit properly high like you would in an SUV. Today in 2022, a lot of these, electric SUVs aren't really proper SUVs. You have, a little bit higher driving position than you would in a normal sedan, but here you sit properly high. I can even jack up the seat more, but the way I'm sitting now is pretty comfortable. I have great visibility. I can see the, the power bulges on the hood, or whatever you want to call them. So it's pretty cool. You see the flat hood, and you feel like you're driving an SUV, and that cannot be said about all electric SUVs in this class. And then talking about the way this drives, I said it's not very sporty, but it is super comfortable. This is on 19-inch wheels, and it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what road surface, it doesn't matter the speed bumps or the holes in the road. This thing is just very softly set up and comfortable. I really like it the way it's set up. Yes, it does corner. It's not very sporty, but it's not rolly. You don't roll about, you don't float about. It's just a very comfortable driving experience. And then once you put your foot down, yes, you do have plenty of power. You do have plenty of go. Again, it's not the fastest, but yeah. And also, these seats are pretty comfortable, and now on the motorway, it's also very quiet. Compared to other cars in this segment, I mean, it's as quiet as most of them. I think the most quiet is maybe the Mustang Mach-E, but this is not bad at all. And then maybe the thing I really do like about this car is this interior, because I mean, at this price point, it's pretty impressive. Step into an Audi Q4 e-tron, and you'll see what a cheap interior looks like. This, as I said, has some cheap switches on the driver or the window switches, But other than that, I mean, you do have some hard touch plastics lower down in the cabin, on the doors. That's to be expected. But everything from, I don't know, my waistline and up is just soft, squidgy. It looks expensive. It feels expensive. You have this faux leather, which is stitched on the doors, on the dashboard. The vents look expensive. The screens look great. Yeah, you do have a lot of glossy black plastic, but I think it's done tastefully. The, you know, old generation MBUX with the command center down here with the shortcut buttons, I love that. The physical button for the HVAC, that is pretty awesome. This AMG steering wheel with these high quality buttons, everything just feels proper. So I mean, with the big panoramic sunroof, the spacious back seats, you know, the big trunk, it being a 7-seater, this is an impressive package, I have to say that. In conclusion, I think that the EQB is a very interesting car and also a very good car. An issue I had with the EQA was that it could get expensive really quickly, and well, since this is basically the same car, this also can get expensive really quickly. But I don't even know what I'm missing here for that 50,000 kroners. The full leather interior, I don't need that. The cool seats, I don't need that either. This car, spec as is good enough for me. So around 600,000 kroners, 60,000 euros for basically everything you need is a very interesting proposition. And the fact that this has more rear seat legroom than the EQA, it has a bigger trunk and is also a 7-seater, makes this unique in its class. I mean, the Skoda Enyaq, Audi Q4 e-tron, Mustang Mach-E, Volkswagen ID4, I mean, you mentioned it, only the Tesla Model Y has a 7-seat option, but it doesn't have, you know, a boxy design like this. So you're gonna get, you know, less headroom in those rear seats. This even has a little bit of trunk space behind that third row. So I think this is a very interesting car and maybe my favorite family car despite its faults in this class of vehicle. So guys, let me know what you think about the Mercedes EQB. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.